Welcome to NarrativeNook audio tales where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening.
3 days, Nicole replied as she handed over the information. The other party accepted it. The files held both Nolan and Lonna's information that Nicole had sorted out regarding their identities on Crescent Island. Nicole, however, had kept the real identity of Nolan and Lonna a secret. Once they were exposed, things would get dangerous real fast. Ever since Nicole's return to San Joto, she had attracted enough attention from enemies. Nicole's decision to protect her children's identities was the best she could do as a mother to provide them an ordinary life. It's almost time. Let's go. Jared had already stood up, carrying Lonna in his arms. Yeah, let's go, Nicole agreed, pulling Nolan along to board the cruise ship. Wow, it's so beautiful. Lonna shouted, waving her little hands around. There's no way the sea is this big, said Nolan with a disgusted look, unimpressed with the view. But the night view here isn't as good as it is at Crescent Island, Lonna said in awe, knowing that the island would soon become pitch black as the sun sets. Stop acting like you've never seen it, Nolan spat in dissatisfaction to Lonna, displeased with how close she was with Jared. Lonna stuck her tongue out and asked, "Didn't you ask your beloved godpa to take you out to play yesterday? It's so weird for him to act this way when he went out to enjoy himself yesterday." Nolan, who was suddenly exposed by Lonna, could not help but to feel a little dejected. It was not that Nolan did not like the city life, but it was who had brought them to live there that he disliked. You two, stop arguing, Nicole said helplessly. It's his fault for showing attitude, scoffed Lonna, turning her head around. It's because you're stupid. You change your mind so easily, Nolan said. Lonna rolled her eyes at Nolan and said, "You're dumb." Lonna kicked her legs to signal Jared to let her down, to which Jared did not object to. Lonna came toward Nolan and said, "I know you like your godpa, but it's no use. Only whoever Mommy likes will matter. If Mommy likes godpa, she would have gotten together with him a long time ago. So how could she just be friends with him after so long? Nolan's smart, but how can he be this stupid when it comes to this?" Lonna thought to herself. Nolan was speechless. He hesitated before saying, "That's because Mommy only pays attention to us. If Mommy notices godpa, she'd like him." Yes, that has to be it, so that Mommy can realize what godpa has done for Mommy. Mommy will definitely like godpa. You two, come take a look at the scenery. Nicole had all her energy depleted, listening to the two of them argue. Jared, on the other hand, was over the moon as he heard Lonna's praise and thought, yeah, so what if he stayed with her for the past 3 years? In the end, it was an unfruitful pursuit anyway. Jared walked in front of Nicole. With a wicked smile on his lips, he said, "If you don't have feelings for anyone, you can consider me." Nicole's cheeks went bright red. Pretending to be mad, she looked into Jared's eyes and said, "I don't have to like anyone." Though Jared was rejected by Nicole, he still felt really good about himself as he considered that Nicole's sullen look was strangely cute. Haha. Jared let out a sarcastic laugh before letting out a low laugh. Feeling a little hot, Nicole's cheeks became even redder, and her heartbeat quickened. As the cool night breeze blew through her hair, Nicole did not dare to make eye contact with Jared. Nicole was scared to meet his eyes, afraid that she would get lost in them. "Tell me about your stay at Crescent Island," Jared requested as he gently combed Nicole's hair. Jared felt regretful he was unable to be by Nicole's side, but he wanted to know how they lived. "It's nothing special. I occasionally do my missions, while the rest of my time is spent taking care of Nolan and Lonna," Nicole said lightly. Though Nicole said it like it was nothing, Jared knew that it must have been very tough for her to live alone with 2 children. In the future, it won't be as hard anymore. Jared gently hugged Nicole's shoulders, vowing to himself that he would share the burden with Nicole and not let her go through it alone. The weight of Jared's arms made it hard to breathe, but the warmth filled Nicole's heart. It was as if she magically gained certainty from the hug. Nicole turned to look at Jared, staring into his deep eyes that were once mysterious but now were filled with reassurance, making her feel safe. Nicole curled her lips. She did not respond to Jared's words. Instead, She felt more at peace by being next to him. As the night rolled in, Jared and Nicole brought the twins back to the Riddle residence. They were already fast asleep. After settling the twins down, Jared and Nicole slipped into bed. Those two rascals are very excited. They don't want to go home until they tire themselves out. Nicole felt helpless, unable to control both Nolan and Lonna's eagerness to play. Visiting the capital is quite something. It's quite refreshing to say, but since they like it so much, why don't we bring them out more often? Jared offered, wanting to try and make up for the time lost. They'll be heading to kindergarten soon. Let them get their rest first, said Nicole as she remembered that her children would be starting kindergarten over the next 3 days. I wonder if they'll be able to adapt, Nicole wondered. Don't worry about it. I'll arrange for someone to take care of them. Jared comforted Nicole. He knew that Nicole had signed up Nolan and Lonna with ordinary identities to protect them. However, Jared was still worried. I need to send someone out to keep an eye out for them, just in case anything happens. Okay. Nicole nodded, thinking Jared's arrangement to be very thoughtful. It's getting late. Let's head to bed, said Jared, as he pushed Nicole into the bathroom and handed her pajamas before closing the bathroom door. Nicole stood there in shock, holding her pajamas in her hand. She could not help but feel a little dumbstruck before shaking her head and sighing, turning on the faucet. Jared turned to look out the window as he heard the sound of the water running in the bathroom. He stared out, looking at the distant night sky. For the past 5 years, Jared had been staring at the night sky for countless nights, as if staring hard enough would bring Nicole back to his side. She finally came back to me, and this time, I won't ever lose her again. Time came and went. After being occupied for so long, the day of celebrating Nicole's return had come. On this day, political, businesspeople, celebrities, and merchants of the capital gathered to welcome Nicole's return, which had been talked about worldwide. As soon as the lights were switched on, the crowd stood in front of the hotel, and there was an endless stream of people entering the venue. Those who had heard of Nicole's return, and those who were affiliated with the Riddle family, and those who were not affiliated, were finding various ways to create a relationship with the Riddles. Everyone was eager to find out how a person who mysteriously disappeared 5 years ago had suddenly returned. For the past 5 years, the Riddle family and Jared had been claiming that Nicole was away to take care of her health abroad. Since Nicole had never made a public appearance, the public had doubts about Nicole's whereabouts. The news of Nicole's return had gripped public interest. After all, Nicole's return to the capital might change everything. While there were some who were thrilled about the news of Nicole's return, others were worried. Tell me, is this Ms. Riddle really going to be leading the Riddle Corporation? Of course. Everything was set in stone 5 years ago by Mr. Riddle Sr. It was unexpected that she got into an accident and disappeared for 5 years. Really? Now that she's back, of course, things will go according to plan. I don't think so. It's been 5 years. So many things have changed. Do you think the Riddle family would treat Ms. Riddle differently? People had gathered around, chatting with great interest, all looking forward to catching a glimpse of Nicole. Amidst the commotion, the door of the banquet hall finally opened. Jared and Nicole walked hand in hand. Everyone had their eyes on them as they were the main event of the night. Nicole's low-key appearance had surprised everyone. Her black fall evening dress elegantly reached her ankle, paired with a black high-heeled stiletto. The spotlight followed her with every step she took. Her sleek dress, with one shoulder, her hair tied back, which brought up her temperament. Jared, on the other hand, wore a black custom-made suit which highlighted his aloof and arrogant aura. Nicole walked beside him, yet she was not blocked from the limelight. The two of them complimented one another as they walked together slowly. The scene was breathtaking. They were like the it couple. Some from the crowd were envious, while some were happy as they watched the pair approach the front of the stage. About Nicole's return, now all the doubts that filled their heart before slowly dissipated. Those who were impatient and those who saw, their expressions darkened. Hello everyone. First, I welcome you all tonight to join us today for Nicole's return. On behalf of Nicole, I'd like to thank everyone here today for expressing your concern for the past 5 years. Nicole has now fully recovered and returned. We'd like to express our genuine blessings to Nicole." As the host's voice fell, there was a roaring applause from the crowd. Next. However, nobody in the crowd knew why Nicole was not given the chance to speak and had the host do it for her, which he had done professionally. Jared glanced at Nicole and said in a low voice, "Don't be nervous. I've read all the information that I've given you. You should be able to recognize them. If there's an emergency, I'll help you out." "Okay." Nicole took a deep breath, trying to calm herself. Nicole had no former memory of any of these people. She was thankful for the information Jared had given her, which was thoroughly detailed. Jared, who stood by her side the entire time, gave her enough confidence and assurance. "Ms. Riddle, you're finally back. Do you know how much all of us here have been waiting for you to come back?" "Yeah. At first, we thought you and Mr. Johnston had almost died during the accident. We were all very worried about you." Nicole watched as people started to swarm around them, moving closer, pushing overwhelming questions of how Nicole was doing and expressing their concerns. "Mr. Riddle Sr. has arrived," one shouted from the crowd. Everyone in the room instantly fell silent. There were rumors going around claiming that Mr. Riddle Sr. was bedridden and had passed on. The news of Mr. Riddle Sr.'s presence had taken everyone aback. Though no one in the room spoke up, deep down they knew the truth. Everyone watched as Mr. Riddle Sr. slowly approached the doors of the banquet hall. Didn't the rumors say the old man is preparing for his funeral? How can it be? He's here looking fine as ever. Mr. Riddle Sr. had stopped all his medications, had Nicole do needle techniques on him, and he took the detoxification medicine Nicole prescribed him with. Mr. Riddle Sr. now was almost fully recovered, all thanks to Nicole and her return. Everyone gave way for Mr. Riddle Sr. to pass by. Soon enough, he reached where Nicole and Jared were standing. "Grandpa." Nicole nodded, greeting Mr. Riddle Sr. before flashing him a smile. After prescribing Mr. Riddle Sr. with the medication, Nicole had been busy taking over the role and responsibilities of the Riddle Corporation, to the point of not being able to make time to visit him. Mr. Riddle Sr. gave Nicole a loving look before turning around to look at the crowd. The atmosphere of the crowd was calm, and everyone fell silent. "Dad." Several sons and daughters-in-law of Mr. Riddle Sr. called out as they approached. "You're all here. I might as well take this opportunity to make an announcement," Mr. Riddle Sr. said indifferently. "Dad." Nicole had just returned not long ago. "I think it's better if..." Karen could not help but feel a little relieved at the idea of Mr. Riddle Sr. giving an announcement. Mr. Riddle Sr. gave Karen a cold glance which shut her up immediately. Mr. Riddle Sr. did not trust any of the people there. "They're all here hoping that I'll die sooner, or they won't stand a chance to get what they want." Karen was offended by Mr. Riddle Sr.'s cold glance, which naturally led the others being afraid to speak up. They settled themselves down. It was only then did Mr. Riddle Sr. turn around to the crowd and say, "It's been a while since Nicole returned. The affairs of the Riddle Corporation have been handed over to Nicole, so today I'm going to announce two things." Mr. Riddle Sr. paused for a moment, looking at the crowd's reaction before continuing to speak. "First is that I will give all my shares to Nicole. During her absence, I managed them on my own, but now that she's back, I will be returning this to her. Also, because of her position as the chairperson of the Riddle Corporation, the future of the company is in her hands. All of the affairs will be entirely dealt with by her." Everyone in the crowd had known about this 5 years ago during his first initial announcement. Yet, hearing it again, they were still shocked to hear the news. She just came back and now she's going to take over the Riddle Corporation. It's 5 years of absence. Can she really do this? Did you not hear? She came back a long time ago. She probably knows the ropes to manage the Riddle Corporation well. Besides, she's a prodigy. I think even after a 5 years gap, she would have come back stronger. For Nicole to take on the role as the chairperson for the Riddle Corporation, there would be more people that are in support of it, due to Nicole's sudden reappearance. Those against it fell silent. The situation was that there were a number of people who were rushing to acquire business deals with Nicole and would want to terminate them if Nicole was not present, but they would reconsider if Nicole came back. Congratulations on being the chairperson, Ms. Riddle." Whether it was sincere or not, everyone said their congratulations. Nicole's eyes scanned the sea of people as they went by her one by one. She responded to each and every one of them politely, silently identifying them based on the information Jared had provided her, with which helped her to deal with the current situation swiftly. As long as there are no emergencies, the banquet should be a breeze. "Grandpa is clearly biased. Why didn't we get anything?" Rain's eyes were dark and had a deadly look. Of course Nicole had to come back at this time. He even recovered when she returned. If it weren't for her, those shares would have been mine. Why did she come back? Why didn't she die? It's been 5 years. Why is she back? What do you even understand from this? As long as Nicole is here, we can't even get anything. Snow snorted coldly. After all these years of acting dumb, it's useless. Rain's face turned blue as she heard this. She looked at Nicole with more resentment. Rain was fuming the longer she stared at Nicole. "I won't let her have her way this easily," said Rain as she gritted her teeth. Snow raised her eyebrows slightly. Then her eyes shone as if she got an idea. "You two, stop standing here. Go and socialize," Karen told both Rain and Snow. It was a great opportunity not to be wasted. Snow nodded obediently before turning around and walking toward the crowd, as she did not want to lose the chance to build connections. Ads by PubFuture. Rain, on the other hand, yanked her husband in one hand before walking toward the crowd. Meanwhile, Daniel and Dexter were busy making small talk with guests, while Dylan and Damien were left with their spouses. "Damien, why does Mr. Riddle Sr. look so lively? It can't be the reflection from the lighting, can it?" Karen said in a low voice. "The old guy wasn't looking good before. How can he be looking this lively now? Could it be that Nicole was telling the truth? Maybe he was fine after all." Karen turned to look at Dylan. Dylan, who noticed his wife was looking at him hesitantly, gave her a hard look and said, "He recovered well. This woman can't keep her mouth shut. What's she doing now? Does she think others would suspect them?" Karen felt Dylan's gaze and changed her expression. She replied in embarrassment, "It was what the doctor said, for us to start preparing for our final goodbyes." True. His physical condition before was dreadful. How come when Nicole came back, he's fine as day? Did Nicole do something? Miley muttered in a low voice, hinting suspicion. "As long as he's recovered, it's in our favor that our father is healthy and fine." Damien's voice was condensed, as if he was wishing his father well, but the words were lofty sounding. Both Dylan and Karen understood the hidden meaning. They could not help but nod along. "You're right. If he had died earlier, we would have been able to get some of the inheritance. But now he's given everything to Nicole. If he dies now, we'd really be left with nothing. There's no way Nicole would give even a piece of inheritance to us. But as long as he's alive, we might be able to have some inheritance left." Dylan and Damien looked at each other tacitly, as if they mentally understood everything, despite not mentioning the situation verbally. The banquet was attended by many influential individuals. The members of the Riddle family were busy accommodating it. On the other hand, Mr. Riddle Sr. was surrounded by his friends. Some were envious he had such a filial granddaughter, which made Mr. Riddle Sr. even more proud. The Riddle family put their problems aside and focused on socializing. Jared and Nicole were much more relaxed compared to the others. Only the most important individuals were allowed to get close to them. Due to Jared's dominating presence, not many people dared bother them nor approach them. "Go and have a rest if you're feeling tired," Jared told Nicole softly. Ever since Jared had to come socialize with Nicole, though she performed decently, it was quite evident that she tired herself out. I guess her previous injury had really taken a toll on her physical condition. "It's not as good as it was before." "No, it's okay. I'm fine." Nicole shook her head lightly, saying that she could still endure for a little while longer. After all, she was the star of the show tonight, so she could not simply leave the banquet. "Congratulations, Nicole," a male voice sounded. Then, a bouquet of flowers was placed in front of Nicole's face. The fragrant and delicate scent of the flowers immediately enveloped Nicole. After accepting the flowers subconsciously, she realized that it was Lawrence who was hiding behind the bouquet. Leo. Nicole was a little surprised. She did not expect Lawrence to give her flowers. "I apologize for being late." Lawrence smiled apologetically. Nicole shook the bouquet in her hand. "Don't be." Nicole still could not wrap her head around the thought of Lawrence gifting her a bouquet. "A beautiful girl isn't complete without a bouquet of flowers," Lawrence said as a matter of fact. "There's no need for flowers. Since you're here, do help yourself. The dance is about to start." Jared took the bouquet from Nicole and handed it over to Max before taking Nicole's hand and led her over to the dance floor. Lawrence frowned. As he looked at Jared's figure, his eyes darkened. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" Nicole whined in a low voice, after being dragged away by Jared. "Do you like the flowers he gave you so much?" Jared asked, a little depressed at Nicole's complaining. "You not liking the flowers isn't a problem, but Lawrence is my guest. How can you just leave him there like that?" Nicole felt it was a little rude to have left Lawrence hanging there. He just established his own group and business communication is still quite challenging for him. Jared's eyes went slightly cold hearing Nicole talk about this. Lawrence is preparing to gain a foothold here. He's preparing to commence his business over the next few days, Jared thought as he remembered what Lawrence had said before. For the past 5 years, Lawrence had been thinking of ways to expand his business here for the sake of protecting Nicole when she returned. Nicole was upset. "For the past 5 years, he had been very helpful to me," Nicole murmured in a low voice. Nicole had no right to ask Jared to be grateful for Lawrence's life-saving help, but she would never forget it. "I understand." Jared held Nicole's hand tight. Feelings were not a bargaining chip for repayment, especially since Nicole did not like Lawrence in that way. Ripple Corporation would have more collaborations with Genesis Group in the future. "For either personal or professional gain, I'd have to keep in touch with him," Nicole explained, biting her lower lip while looking at Jared. Nicole wanted to explain this situation clearly, in hopes that Jared would understand. Jared was originally depressed when Lawrence showed up with a bouquet of flowers for Nicole, but now he was relieved. With his eyebrows raised, Jared's eyes sparkled with a mischievous glint. "I'll reluctantly promise to let him go since you care so much about me." Nicole's face had a shade of red and she gave Jared a slightly vexed glance. "Who cares about you? Stop being so presumptuous." "Am I being presumptuous? Or are you unaware of your own feelings?" Jared had a devilish grin on his face. Nicole's explanation showed that she cared about him and did not want him to imagine things. Although he still felt moody, not wanting anyone to covet her, he understood her reasoning. In both personal and professional aspects, Nicole would have to come in contact with Lawrence. However, at least she was willing to explain, showing that he was important in her heart. "Stop it with your nonsense," Nicole said, embarrassed. "This man is unbelievable. How did it turn into me being the one with feelings?" Nicole shook off Jared's hand. As she was about to turn around and leave, Lawrence approached her. "Do you not have a suitable dance partner? If that's the case, could I have the honor to take that place?" Lawrence bowed gracefully, preparing to invite Nicole to dance. Ever since Jared left with Nicole just now, Lawrence had been observing them. Although he could not hear what they were talking about, their expressions made him feel uneasy. Since when did Nicole start to rely so much on Jared? The way they looked at each other resembled a loving married couple. If I wasn't sure Nicole hadn't recovered her memories, I almost would have thought she remembered everything, Lawrence wondered. Looking at Lawrence's outstretched hand, Nicole's eyes showed a hint of hesitation and thrill. Before she could respond to Lawrence's invitation, someone grabbed her hand. With a spin, she was brought into the dance floor. When Nicole realized what had happened, Jared's handsome face was right in front of her. Along with that, she was faced with deep and captivating eyes. Nicole could not help but roll her eyes, feeling speechless at his behavior. Who was the one who promised not to mind him? Nicole teased. Jared confidently replied, "In business, your interactions are strictly professional. In personal matters, you could only be friends. Dancing is breaking the rules." With Jared still here, How could he possibly let Nicole dance with someone with ulterior motives? Lame excuse. Nicole once again rolled her eyes at Jared. As the music began to play, the two danced gracefully across the dance floor. At the side, Lawrence emanated an icy aura with his darkened expression. Sensing someone coming, Lawrence regained his composure and glanced sideways, his pupils narrowing. Preston, Ella, Gary, and Ryder. Apart from Nicole's brother, her past suitors and Lawrence were all depressed at the scene of Jared and her dancing. After the song ended, cheers and applause erupted in the venue. Spotlights focused on Jared and Nicole. Jared hugged Nicole's waist with a perfect ending pose. Under the spotlight, they were enveloped in a halo of light, making them shine. After finishing their dance, Jared and Nicole stood in position, nodded to the surrounding crowd, and left the dance floor. "Nicole, I finally get to see you." Just as they stepped off the dance floor, a crowd surrounded Nicole. Nicole's expression stiffened slightly upon their approach. Besides Preston and Ella, who she had seen before in the Riddle family manor, Nicole had never seen the others. However, judging by their eager expressions, Nicole could feel they were sincerely happy to see her with no bad intentions. It was just that she did not remember any of them and did not know how to react. Sensing Nicole's uneasiness, Jared held her hand tight and said solemnly to others, "Let's talk about this later. Nicole's tired. She needs some rest." Preston was aware of Nicole's memory loss and naturally understood Jared's intentions. So he chimed in, "She just came back and is still adjusting. You'll have plenty of chances to meet her since she's back now." "All right then." The crowd was a little disappointed but showed understanding. "Settle down. You're here not to only see Nicole. Go and tend to your own matters." Preston waved them off to leave. "We're here to see Nicole. What other matters would we have?" They were all not interested in the family business and had their own pursuits. "Fine, you got me. Why don't we move over there and sit?" Preston offered while looking at Jared. Then he took the others to sit in another area. Seeing that the others had left, Nicole was a little more relieved and sighed. "That's Gary and Ryder, and that's..." Jared whispered in Nicole's ears, introducing the people to her. "I know. I just can't seem to know how to interact with them." The information Jared once provided her naturally included these people. Nicole remembered the content. It was just that she was somewhat unfamiliar when actually meeting them. "Take it easy. If you can't handle it, just ignore them," Jared suggested, his expression calm and natural. Nicole frowned, looking at Jared with confusion. "Why do I feel strange about ignoring these people?" "Well, isn't Mr. Johnston a nip in the bud?" Lawrence chuckled, his tone meaningful. "It's just some unimportant people." Jared's gaze darkened slightly. He scanned the people surrounding them just now and his eyes rested on Lawrence. Jared made his meaning clear. Lawrence was in the group of unimportant people. Lawrence was speechless, but he maintained a decent smile. "Whether these people are important or not, it's Nicole's call. Mr. Johnston has no right to help her decide." "Humph, that's none of your concern," Jared finished and took Nicole away. Lawrence's lips curved upwards meaningfully as he watched the couple leave, his gaze icy cold. The grand banquet finally came to an end near midnight. After bidding farewell to the guests, the Riddle family gathered in the hall. Everyone had varied expressions, but due to Mr. Riddle Sr.'s presence, they did not dare show their dissatisfaction. "It's almost time. You should all head back." Mr. Riddle Sr. made a final call, preparing to dismiss the crowd. "Dad, it's getting late. I'll send you back." "Your health is more important," Damien said in concern. Mr. Riddle Sr. rolled his eyes disdainfully. "You don't need to worry about me." Damien was taken aback, and his face turned pale. Knowing that Mr. Riddle Sr. was still disappointed over the previous issue of the will, he did not dare say anything else. He lowered his head, admitting defeat. "If that's the case, we'll get going first." Dillian submitted to the circumstances, knowing it was useless to talk further. "All right." Mr. Riddle Sr.'s expression relaxed a little after seeing their departure. Dillian and Karen left with Snow and Rain, and they did not forget to glare at Nicole with resentment before leaving. Nicole snorted coldly. She was too lazy to deal with her cousin on such occasions while knowing her brainless nature. "Dad, we'll also return home." After Dillian left, Damien said his goodbyes and left with his family. "Grandpa, let's get you home." Nicole felt warm while looking at her grandfather. She did not expect him to stay the entire night for her welcoming banquet. "I'll go back on my own. You should head home soon," Mr. Riddle Sr. insisted. Mr. Riddle Sr. was originally restless until he watched Dillian and Damien leave. Only then could he be leaving at ease. He knew Dillian and Damien would be unsatisfied with his announcement today. They would not dare make a fuss when he was present, but if he was not, Nicole would be in a bad spot. Mr. Riddle Sr. feared that Nicole could not handle them, since she had just come back. "I'll take you home, Dad." Daniel and the butler assisted Mr. Riddle Sr. to leave the venue slowly. "Let's get going too. There's still plenty of chances to meet next time," Nicole reminded the crowd, seeing that they were a little reluctant to leave. "Yes, it's getting late. Let's all go home," someone agreed. The crowd gradually left, leaving the 5 brothers of the Riddle family. They all turned to Nicole with concern, asking, "You must be tired. We never expected everyone to get so hyped up for your return and end this banquet this late." "It's all right. I've got it. I'm not tired," Nicole's lips curved upwards. Everyone had a tough day since they all worked hard for tonight. "Sean, let's not stand here and talk. We'll get going first." "Nicole needs some rest," Jared voiced out softly. "Oh right. Let's go. Mom is probably worried at home," Stanley chimed in. Gloria did not attend the banquet, so that she could take care of Nolan and Lana at home. She was uncomfortable leaving the 2 children with the nanny and worried they would be bored. The family soon left the hotel and went straight home. Nicole sat in Jared's car, looking a little weary. "You must be tired." Jared gently rubbed Nicole's temples. "Close your eyes and rest for a while." "I'm fine," Nicole muttered, shaking her head. "I just didn't think there'd be such a big crowd. I've only interacted with some of the collaboration partners. I didn't even have time to greet their +1s." "There's no need for that. You'll meet the people you need to meet at the end," Jared answered. "It was unnecessary to meet unimportant people. Who knew that I had so many connections in San Joto? But how many of my enemies showed up today?" Nicole slightly narrowed her brows. No one held any hostility toward her today, not any that she could feel. His eyes darkening, Jared said solemnly, "Don't dwell in the past. From now onwards, you're the chairman of Riddle Corporation. Just do things as you please. There are no permanent friends or enemies." That one enemy who wanted to take Nicole's life was currently not in San Joto. He disappeared from sight after he and Nicole suffered heavy injuries 5 years ago. As for the case where Nicole got attacked when she came back, Jared had Max investigate it. However, they did not find any useful information. It was likely the remnants of power from Nicole's enemy, which had probably depleted over the past 5 years. Understanding Jared's meaning, Nicole raised her brows and blurted out, "It seems to me you're trying to say that everyone does not matter. Then why would you prepare so much for me previously?" Jared could have told her to ignore those who are not important. "They're indeed unimportant to me. Because in my heart, you're the only one that matters," Jared confessed. Nicole was the only one Jared really cared for. His eyes would only focus on her, ignoring everyone else. Nicole's mouth twitched. "Here we go again. That wasn't what I meant. Everything will fall into place. Even if you can't remember, you'll know who's important and who's not." Jared held her hand, thinking that he would be the only one Nicole cared for. Nicole could not help but roll her eyes at Jared, sighing. "I still need to regain my memories." After all, Nicole still had to remember the past. The feeling of not knowing or remembering anything had her feeling unpleasant, and even anxious at times. Jared's eyes were downcast, not commenting on Nicole's response. He wanted Nicole to gain her memories back, but as soon as her memories recovered a little, Nicole would have a terrible headache. Therefore, he did not rush to let her interact with people or events from the past. not even going on dates to familiar places. Jared was fine if Nicole never regained her memories as long as she was fine. It was late when they got back home. Gloria was waiting for them in the living room while Nolan and Lana had fallen asleep. Seeing that everyone was back, she asked with concern, "So? How was it? Did everything go smoothly?" "Yes, don't worry." Nicole handled the situation very well and exposed nothing. This was the common worry for everyone, that the news of Nicole's memory loss was spread. If that happened, Nicole would be in a difficult spot. That's good. Gloria's heart ached for Nicole while looking at her. It'll only get harder once you take over the company. Nicole sat down next to Gloria. "That's fine. It's better to have something to do. I can't stay at home forever, right? As your mother, I really hope you'll stay at home with me every day." Gloria smiled lovingly and patted Nicole's hand. "Mom, Nicole will get bored and unhappy if she stays in the house all day. She should be free outside," Samuel said with a proud look. Nicole's abilities should be admired by everyone.
Please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.